This is N24 and I am Mudiwangam. First in the headlines. According to reports, Gambian smokers spend $5 million on tobacco products. Man arraigned for raping a 6-year-old girl. Ministry of Health denied the continuation of AstraZeneca. Ministry of Land sold service roads to an Indian businessman. These and more stories coming your way. Stay tuned. And now the news in detail. According to reports, Gambian smokers spend $5 million on tobacco products. Health authorities disclosed to journalists that tobacco consumers in the Gambia spent an overwhelming $5 million on tobacco products annually. The event was held at the Central Medical Store in Kotu. Omar Baji, the program manager of non-communicable diseases, mentioned that annually around 1 million people die from diseases caused by tobacco use, including about 890,000 from second-hand smoking exposure. According to Omar, 16% of Gambians are exposed to tobacco and its harmful effects. Also, an average Gambian male between the ages of 25 to 65 years smokes about 10 sticks of cigarettes a day, while shisha in the Gambia is at 84%. While shisha usage in the Gambia is at 84%. He also added that smoking seriously affects smokers or even kills them because it contains nicotine, an addictive substance such as lead, carbon monoxide, and nitrogen oxides. It also damages body tissues. Land Minister rescinded the suspension of KMC CEO. Last week, we reported that the CEO of KMC, Seinabu Sonko, was suspended due to some fraudulent activities. Drame, the land's minister under which the local government is under, rescinded the suspension. KMC Mayor Bensouda reacting by overwriting the decision of the land minister. Is the land minister condoning corruption by keeping a civil servant that admitted to defrauding $7 million of taxpayers' money? CEO Sonko was denied entry into the KMC building by security. CEO Sonko was denied entry into the KMC by security. On Monday, PIU officers were deployed to the KMC mayor's office to forcefully reinstate CEO Sonko, allegedly by the directives of the land minister. Man arraigned for raping a 6-year-old girl. A 35-year-old Omar Jaune appeared at the Brikama court charged with a single count of rape, which he denied. According to the details of the indictment, Omar Jaune on June 23rd at Brikama raped a 6-year-old girl. Police prosecuting officer Sub-Inspector Bobo Jaju applied for the case to be transferred to the High Court in Banjul as the magistrate court lacks jurisdiction to hear and determine the case. He declared that if the accused is found guilty, the punishment attached is life imprisonment and the magistrate's court cannot hand such a sentence. Ministry of Health denied the continuation of AstraZeneca. The Ministry of Health has dismissed reports circulating in town about continuation of AstraZeneca vaccination as false and urged people to go receive their Johnson & Johnson vaccines to help curb the spread of coronavirus infection in the country. AstraZeneca vaccine, which the Gambia first received from the World Health Organization through its COVAX donation to developing and least developed countries across the world, ran shortage months ago. The Gambia is now issuing the Chinese Sinopharm and United States Johnson & Johnson vaccines. The ministry would like to clarify that AstraZeneca vaccine is yet to arrive in the Gambia, but will certainly be available soon. The ministry said in a statement, the ministry wishes to reassure those who are due for the second dose of AstraZeneca vaccine that they will subsequently receive it as soon as it becomes available, and also note that any delay in receiving the second dose would not have any negative consequences on the individual, the ministry added. The first ever presidential candidates debate in recent history of the Gambia was held this week between Honorable Halifa Sallah of PDOIS and Dr. Ismaila Ceesay of Citizens Alliance. N24 was present and filed this report.
But in 2011, we supported the United Front and had 11% of the vote to the UDP 17%. And some are saying, well, it is the UDP who enabled the coalition to win. But here, 2011, 17%, 11% for the United Front and rising. So essentially, in 2016, if you follow how the elections went for the candidate, I could have protested. You've had all the coalition leaders saying, Dr. Ceesay is saying that, yes, a party has been registered, but where was the GMC leader when we were establishing the coalition? Where was the GPD leader when we were establishing the coalition? All had left the country. This was not a safe ground for genuine multi-party contest. That is the reality. Let's accept that fact. The coalition has changed, has shifted. You see, development is not always planned. Sometimes it can be spontaneous. Sometimes it can be incidental. What is incidental to the change is not the plan that some of us had. But today you have a judiciary that can stand and say, this independent National Assembly member has been removed by the executive. Go back to the National Assembly. That is the progress that the country has made. For a civil society organization to say, 54 million, you have not done it according to the Constitution. To the court, removed. That's what we should take into consideration. That because of the environment that has been created, Gambia has indeed changed. But it's not necessarily a change of system.
Time, sir.
We must now move to the next change.
Thank you, thank you. Dr. Ismaila says 2021, December is around the corner. Will you, via Citizens Alliance, consider coming together with other like-minded political parties? Seemingly 20 presidential candidates or more. We have 18 registered. We have 2, 3, 4 independents considering. Are you imagining forming some sort of an alliance, some sort of a coalition for 2021?
Well, we at CA don't believe in forming alliances just to remove an incumbent. We believe in being part of alliances that will bring change, sustainable change. Removing the incumbent is one job, like I've said. Changing is another. So we'll have to consider those things. The agenda must be right and genuine. The framework must be right. Policies and platforms and visions must align. Then maybe perhaps we can start discussions. But for now, we will not engage or take part in any coalition just for the sake of changing incumbent and replacing that incumbent with another incumbent, and yet there will be no sustainable development or change in this country. Thank you.
That was the presidential candidates debate between Halifa Sallah of PDOIS and Dr. Ceesay of CA. The Ministry of Land has been accused of selling a plot of land to an Indian businessman that belongs to the National Sports Council. A 12 meters by 100 meters service road located at Bakau by the stadium was also sold to the Indian businessman. A demarcated road that was supposed to be safety access to in and out of the stadium was sold by the Ministry of Lands. Upon learning that their land was sold, the National Sports Council visited their land and saw a fence being erected. They posted a sign of the plot indicating that they are the owners of the plot. News from other parts of the world. State government official kidnapped in Nigeria. A senior government official in Niger State, central Nigeria, has been kidnapped, an official statement has said. Mohammed Sani Idris, who is Niger State's Commissioner for Information, was abducted from his home by an armed gang at around 1 a.m. local time on Monday morning, according to a local government statement. Security agencies have reportedly mounted a search operation for his rescue. This comes less than a week after the parents of the Speaker of Parliament in neighboring Zamfara state were kidnapped in Nigeria. Journalist killed in eastern DR Congo. Officials in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo say a journalist working for the national broadcaster has had his throat slit in North Kivu province. Eritier Magayane's colleagues say his murder could be linked to his work where he presented programs urging the youth to make peace. The journalist received a phone call from someone who arranged to meet him in the village of Bunyangola, where he was killed. The area is controlled by the Congolese army, but multiple militias operate in the region. Zuma's corruption trial delayed for medical reasons. South Africa's former president, Jacob Zuma's corruption trial, which was due to resume on Tuesday, has been postponed for medical reasons. His legal team applied for the postponement after the 79-year-old was admitted to hospital on Friday for an undisclosed condition. The trial relates to a $5 billion, which is £3 billion, arms deal back in the 1990s. It is the latest in a series of delays in the trial, which also involved French arms company Thales. Zuma, who is currently serving a 15-month sentence for contempt of court in a separate case, will be expected to present proof to the court of his illness. The former president's medical team have been given until 20th August to file a report to the court. The state will also appoint an independent doctor to examine him to establish his fitness to stand trial. Zuma is facing a string of charges including fraud and racketeering. He has pleaded not guilty to all the counts and says the trial is politically motivated. That was all we have for you in today's bulletin. Join us next week, same time, same station. I am Udiwangam.